All right, everybody, welcome. Happy October. Welcome to our I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts training series. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different things over the next few weeks, but what we want to do today is we're going to be doing a couple different things. We're going to be like kind of redefining success for ourselves and determining like what it is exactly that we want. We're going to figure out what's holding us back from where we are to where we want to be. We're going to normalize no, and we're going to create healthy daily business habits. And we're going to leave October convicted that we ain't afraid of no ghosts. So that is what's going on. I want to go ahead and introduce myself to those of you who have no idea who I am. My name is Jenny Sanzo. I am an associate executive director. I have been with Monate for 6.5 years. I'm a legacy founder. I'm an emerging founder. I'm even more obsessed with this business and these products now than I was 6.5 years ago when I first got started. It just keeps getting better and better. And I'm so excited about this series because I'm collaborating with two of my Mo besties that I never would have known if it was not for this business. So if you're on my team, you know I talk about community all the time and about cross-line support and how our culture is so different and so awesome. I met Maggie in Cabo on Money's first like incentive trip. There were 35 of us. Like wrap your brain around that. Like only 35 people earned the trip. And I met Monica so maybe I'll let her tell that story, but she apparently tried to hug me at our first convention and I was like the ice queen and I don't like being touched and I wasn't all about it, but we officially became friends through our regional, Jeannie Goski, who was our regional at the time, and said we were from the same planet and that we would be fast friends. So going to go ahead and let Maggie and then Monica tell you a little bit about themselves, and then we'll get right into the meat and potatoes of what we're doing today. Go ahead, Mags.
Hi, I am Maggie Daniel. I cannot handle Monica. Did you see her, Jenny? She had a freaking blanket over her the whole time like a ghost.
I know I could only see my stupid face the entire time. So no, I missed it.
Oh, thank you for that. That just filled my cup. My name is Maggie Daniel. I am a market mentor with Monate. I am a legacy founder and emerging founder. And yeah, like Jenny said, been around a long time, 6.5 years. I think I joined the same month as her, the month before, earned that trip to Cabo, and the rest is history. Like she said, it just keeps getting better and better as the years go by, and the community is just top notch. And so I'm so grateful to be here with you guys to share what we have to share. So thanks for being here. Hobbs, you're up.
I don't know if I can talk now because I actually didn't even know if my camera was on the whole time because I couldn't see anything. Anyway, okay, so you guys, we're so excited to kick off this month with something a little bit different. You know, we do all sorts of trainings all the time. And like Jen said, we just, there's things that we've got to get back to and things that we can't be afraid of doing if you want your business to grow. But I think she introed me pretty well. I'm Monica Hobbs. I've been with Monate for, I've been using the products for almost 7 years now. And I can attest that you guys, if you keep going with this, like I'm telling you, it's something that is just, it can forever change you and your family and your future. And that's why we do this. That's why we collab. That's why we come together, because we want to bring different like-minded people that want to help other people succeed. So the thing about this is we don't have to do this stuff, but we want to do this stuff. We want to be able to encourage you guys and inspire you and to give you all the tips and tricks that we have been able to do over the last several years and fill your cup with this. So thank you guys for jumping on tonight. We're really excited to see where this goes for this month. So we're excited.
Awesome. Thanks, Mon. All right, Mags, why don't you kick us off and get us into what we're going to be doing tonight? And we're going to get comfortable being uncomfortable here. So everybody like gird your loins and get something to write with.
Okay, so we're going to start this out with some visualization. And I want you guys to really think big. Like, don't have a small mind here, like dream really big during this time. And I want you to get really specific with your visualization. Like I want you to be able to know what outfit you're wearing while you're visualizing this. I want you to know what the smells smell like, what the sun feels like on your skin. If that's part of, like, feel all the feelings and make it feel as real as possible. And then I also want you to answer this in present tense. So this is going to be, like it's already happened, not like when I get to here, this is going to happen. It's going to be like, I am this and this is my life, So write down your answers, and then we're going to go back to it later because we won't have enough time to really dig in tonight. But okay, everybody ready? You got your pens. You're going to think this through. So if you don't have your pen or whatever, close your eyes and just visualize what your life looks like, fulfilling all of those really, really big dreams. So think about, who am I? Now, this can be a year from now. This can be 5 years from now. This doesn't have to be next month. We're dreaming really big here. So really put yourself out there. Who am I? What does my life look like? Where do I live? What does my day look like? Are you waking up feeling rushed, tired, anxious? Are you waking up feeling grateful, excited, well rested? Think all of those things through. Okay, think about what does your bank account look like? What does your lifestyle look like? What is your relationships like? How's your marriage? How's your health and your fitness? How do you feel on a regular basis? What things in your life make you feel overwhelmed now that you won't have when this happens? What kind of spiritual life do you have? What does your relationships with your kids look like? What does it look like with your friends? What do your relationships with your family look like? What words describe the best you? Who's in your circle? How do they make you feel? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going fast.
Guys, I'm going to post it in the chat. I got it. If you can't keep up, don't panic.
When you wake up in the morning, where do you live? What does your house look like? What does your room look like? How do you feel when you wake up? When you start your day, what is your routine? Where do you go in your house to drink your coffee or your iced tea like me? To do your devotional? What does your morning look like? How does your day look? Who are you interacting with? We're designing that dream life. When we really get to sit and think about, like, ultimately, what do we want our days to look like? We talk about this all the time, like designing a life by design instead of by task. and things like that. So really think about those things. Like I said, like get really personal, get really realistic. Think about, you know, you wake up in the morning and the sun is coming through the windows, and the things that you're grateful for as you wake up. What do the blankets feel like in your bed? All those things, all the details. Maybe it's a house on the beach and you're going outside and this, you can smell the ocean air and the sun hitting your skin and the sand in your, between your toes. Like get super, super specific, you guys. You're going to really visualize what this life looks like, what it feels like, so you can have that personal connection with those things. Okay. The only thing that is keeping you from that reality is fear. Not your upline, it's not your downline, it's not the people who haven't messaged you back, it's fear. Fear is holding you back, not circumstance, but fear. You are the only person who can make that dream come true for you. That's it. You are. No one else can do that. But we get ourselves so worked up. We get so worried about what our neighbor down the street's going to say, or so-and-so on the internet that we've never met, like what those people are going to say, that we hold ourselves back from this dream that we just envisioned. We tell ourselves like, oh, well, I can't do that. I'll never be like her. And we compare ourselves, and we have this fear of being rejected, that if we tell people our dream, if we talk about our dream, if we share this this dream with people, that we're going to be rejected, that we're going to be ignored, and we let fear seep in and overshadow those desires of our hearts. And that sucks, you guys. Like, don't let fear creep in and take that dream that you just thought about, take it away from us. It's time that we normalize the no and take fear out of the equation, because there's just so much goodness, and I've seen it in so many people's lives, including Jenny and Monica. I have seen dreams of theirs come to fruition, and in my own life as well, and countless other people. You have to keep showing up, and you have to keep putting yourself out there and putting fear aside. So I'm going to toss it over to Monica. She's going to talk about normalizing the no's, because I think, well, I know that the no is where we all get hung up. So Monica.
Hi, friends. Yes. Okay. So that exercise, that's something that you guys can do again, and take your time doing it. And that exercise is for you. So, you know, we go into this business, into this journey, or into anything new, with having your why in place. And you have to know where you want to go in order for you to desire to do the work to get there, right? You have to have a reasoning behind wanting to do it. And all of these things that we just went through is something that, you know, you can look back on and you can remember, oh my gosh, yes, when I wrote that down, or when I did this. Like, we really want you guys to be intentional with it, because it starts with that before you're ever going to ever get to those goals and that success of, like what Maggie said, overcoming that fear, all of those things. But one of the biggest things in this business is what's really hard for us. And I've got a lot of directs on here, and a lot of leaders, and just a lot of my girls in general. They come to me and said, you know, I've heard no so many times. It's just so discouraging. Maybe it's not for me. And, you know, it makes me wonder how many times you actually have heard no, or how many times you kept going. I've heard no a lot. And you guys, in order for you to be successful in any business, you're going to actually want to get more no's than yeses. And I know that's hard to listen to and to actually hear, actually want to hear, because we don't want to hear no. We know we're so excited about this business, but we want everyone to say yes to us. And, you know, sometimes it takes, 6 years. Like, for example, when I had reached out to someone 6 years ago, and they told me no so many times, and it took them 6 years just to become a VIP customer. but they saw me. I was consistent. They knew I was serious in my business. They're like, okay, it's time. And those moments will happen. And those are really exciting moments because that's something that you can look back on yourself and say, wow, I didn't give up. I kept going. I kept showing up. I kept talking about it. So normalizing the no. That's something that, like I said, is going to happen in your business every single day if you are out there talking to new people. So you're not going to get no's until you're out there actually talking to people. So this sequence that we're doing, this month that we're doing, is really going to be focusing on prospecting and really bring more people into your pipeline. Because if you want to grow in this business and if you want to grow personally, you have to talk to more and more people. You guys, I remember in speech class in high school, I hated it. I hated speech. I hated talking in front of people. I got so nervous, so sweaty. I remember running to the bathroom before class, before I gave my speech, and I think I still do that actually whenever I speak. But I remember like getting up there and doing it. And I was so proud of myself after the fact. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just did that. Because sometimes you just have to throw yourself into the fire and just do it and just try it. So, I've been reaching out to people in my business for, many years now. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. And for me, it's wanting to build relationships with people. We use social media as a platform for, to reach out and things like that. But it can be a scary thing, especially if you're not new to it. But everybody starts at their chapter one, right? We all have our chapter ones. We all have that moment that we click join now, and we all have no downline. There's no customers. It's just us on a little green dot, right? Everybody was a little green dot, okay? But some of those green dots that change colors took a chance, and eventually they talked to more and more people and more and more people and more and more people. And that is all that this is. And having some confidence, being consistent, and showing up. But along that road of success that some people have, you guys, we dip down real deep. And it sometimes takes us climbing out of the trenches to get back up there, but we didn't give up because we remembered what we visualized. Remember what we wanted in the beginning. My goals were really, really small in the beginning. And those were huge goals for me in the beginning. So don't forget that those steps that you guys had, or the steps that it took to get to those first goals, and you check them off. And then, things change, your goals change, your why change over the years. But remember, go back to that place when you started. Remember how excited you were that first day that you joined, or whenever you talked to your sponsor, and whatever it was that made you say, okay, yes, I'm doing this. And this is why I'm doing this. You guys, we don't just do this business for shits and giggles. I mean, no, it's fun, but if we didn't get the rewards of what we wanted, we wouldn't be doing this business. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we're all making money, but we have to talk to more people. Like Jen said, we're going to dive into more like technicality of that like next week. But one thing that you guys need to know is that I am told no every single day. So last month was a slower month for me. I have been bringing on averaging between 10 to 20 VIP customers a month. Last month, I brought on 2 VIP customers and I didn't sponsor a single person. And I was not disappointed with myself because you know what? I know all of those seeds that I planted throughout the month of September, I was working hard and I'm still working hard. I've already sponsored a market partner and 2 VIPs this month. So that's really exciting. But that was stuff that I did the work on, previously. I did the work, behind the scenes work. And that stuff will come to fruition eventually, you guys. So I do want to rewind a little bit previous years into my business when I really decided to make a shift. I remember it was about 2017 and there were some new people coming in. That was kind of like where the Miami teams really started coming in hot, and people were, coming in hot. And I'm like, who are these people? I want to do what they're doing. I want to do what they're doing. And I was sponsoring maybe like, I think I had sponsored, like I was doing the basics, but that basics for me, I was only doing basic work to really get there. I wasn't actually intentionally reaching out to like strangers and intentionally like really trying to build relationships with people. I thought everyone was just going to come to me. Like if I threw something up, I thought they were going to come to me. Well, guess what? That doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You have to have some sort of relationship with these people in order for them to trust you. It all goes back about trust, right? Relationship and trusting you and building that over time. And I knew, I was like, okay, this is it. Like I'm going to do this. Like I really want to grow. I see these people sponsoring like 10 VIPs a month. I want to sponsor 10 VIPs a a month. I'm like, but I'm going to have to really go to work. I'm going to have to do some things, and I'm going to have to like really commit to this. And it didn't happen overnight. It took me probably 2 solid years before I actually started seeing the results from that. So if you guys are looking at some of these people who, you know, are bringing on the people, it's because they're just consistent and they're doing the behind the scenes work that you guys may not be doing and that you're not also seeing. So, those 2 years it was a lot of years of work, but, you know, eventually I was getting to where I wanted to be, and I was hitting those goals. And I was really excited about the pace and the momentum of my business, but it was just something that I want you guys to know that there's a lot of things that goes on behind that you may not see, but this is where we want to come help and teach you guys those things that go on behind the scenes, where we have those conversations with people. We're getting the no's, and then we're getting the yeses, and we're getting the people that said, I've been following you for 2 years. I'm ready. Because we were consistent and we were serious about our business, and we showed up every day in our business. And we still, you know, if you look at any of the leaders on these calls, when maybe they're talking on social media or on their team calls and their stories, you can see the passion that is in this work that we do. We would not be breathing what we feel in this life into you guys if we did not believe, you guys, I have chills right now, of where Monet is going to be at in 10 years. You guys, we can't even like wrap our brains around it, you know, like it's just so out there that like that's how big it's going to be. 7 years ago, when Monet launched, this vision was planted in Tony Van Schoik and all of those other first founders, right? And they casted that upon me, and they casted it upon the other people, and we believed them. And guess what? It's all come alive. It's because we believed and we went for it. So you're going to have the no's. It's going to be something that's going to be in your business every single day, but you guys want those because you're going to get a lot stronger from that. So I had found something that was kind of cool when I was, you know, before talking today. So if you guys actually look at, I think if you're following big, you know, podcasters and authors and like, you know, Mel Robbins and Ed Milet and just a lot of people that I follow, that every single one of you will tell you, you're going to fail. You're going to have to fail in order to see success. And that's something we need to normalize. And that's something that you guys need to take in and understand, that you're going to fail. But guess what? You're going to come out a lot stronger on the other side. And you're going to learn a bunch of things along the way to better yourself. So, I had seen this on the internets, and it says you get another shot. Okay. The best part about failure is you get another shot and another one if you choose. It's up to you. It's all up to us, guys. We're the ones, if we want to keep going, we are the ones that have to make the decision to keep going. It's up to you to decide how many times you're willing to fail in order to achieve your goals in life, right? I say, if you really want it, you'll never give up. Sure, at times you may think this isn't working, but it is. It's working because you're constantly learning what you did wrong the last time. So the next time you may make a mistake, it won't be the same one, right? If there's ever a time where you have the opportunity to give it another go, you have to take it, especially when it comes to your life's goal. So go back to these things that we are visualizing right now. And if you want those to come to fruition that you guys have visualized, you're going to have to keep going, and you're going to have to keep failing forward. And, you know, sometimes we feel like we have to know it all. And sometimes we feel like, oh, it has to be perfect before I can do it. You know, take action. Messy action is action. And you know what? We want messy action. Just start going for it. You'll learn. You know what? Maybe you send a cold message to someone and they don't respond and they ghost you. Maybe you send a cold message to 15 people, 2 people respond, and then they ghost you. Guess what? That's happened to me all month long. I've been doing reach outs all month long, especially with Australia, because I really know what we can offer to the Australia culture and community. And it's just something that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to be told no a lot. I've gotten a couple little hot leads. I've had one person sign up from Australia, but I've had a lot of maybes. I've had a lot of ghosting, and I've had a lot of not even seeing the message at all. So you guys, I'm not going to stop because there's nothing that's happened there. But what I'm doing is I'm learning from those messages, or I'm learning from the conversations and how I'm doing it. And I'm tweaking it every single time. And this isn't also just for Australia. I'm also doing this in my own community and my own people that I know. So it's something that you kind of have to get out of your own way, and just try it. I know it's nerve wracking. I know before you hit send, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna do it. You just have to do it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, that wasn't so bad. And then you might get a response and it's like, oh my gosh, I know you guys watching, you've messaged me when you've gotten those responses. You know that feeling. But in order for you to feel that feeling, you have to do it, right? So we have to get over the nose. We have to get over, being ignored and things like that. So remember your why. Remember why you guys started. Remember that visualization, I'm just going to stop. Maggie and I both can't say it. We tried saying it earlier, can't say it. You get it. Visualize what you guys want and where you can see yourself in 5 years and 10 years. And like Maggie said, the feels, the smells, like what do you want your mornings to look like? What do you want to feel when you go to bed? What do you want to see your kids doing? Or what, you know what I mean? There's so many things that you guys can do for this, but you have to go for the no. We have tons of fun things coming for you guys. So, yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Heck yes. All right, Jen, I'm going to turn it over back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. You are on fire. Who is like feeling it tonight? Who is excited? Drop a 1 in the comments if you are feeling this tonight and you're like, yes, this is what I needed. Give me some more of that. Okay. Lots of 1s in the chat. So today it was really about you, right? Next week, so just to give you guys a little sneak peek, next week, we're going to dig into the how of like prospecting and networking and how you move a cold lead to a warm lead, and then how you take that warm lead and now you're doing the ask and then you're closing them. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of all of that next week. This is about you getting clear on what it is that you want, on defining success for yourself, and figure out like, okay, what makes me tick, and what in a perfect world, like, if money were no object, time were no, like, just if I could have everything that I wanted, I get emotional when I talk about this stuff, but if you could have everything that you wanted, what would that look like? And you write it down. Like, I want you guys to take the time and sit there with yourself, take 30 minutes, put on some Zen music and dig into this and write I am statements. Like, I am fit, I am healthy, I am loved, I am worthy, I am making a difference in my community, whatever those things are, and get very, very specific. We did this. So the 3 of us were at a Rachel Hollis conference a few years ago. She's not my favorite person anymore, but this activity was real good. We're not going to get into that. But I remember writing all these, I'm going to get choked up, but I remember sitting there in that auditorium working through this and writing these things down and visualizing it and seeing it. And do you know how much of that stuff has come true 3 or 4, I don't even remember when that was, 3 years ago? I could see myself in my driveway where I live now. I could see my husband home with me living in Florida. I could see surfboards and my kids going to the beach. I could see it all. I also saw a really cute white Jeep that is not yet in my driveway, but guys, it's coming because this stuff works. But I'm telling you, it is so important to know what makes you tick and know what that thing is that you are going to fight for no matter what, so that the no's don't bother you, the ghosts don't bother you, because you can't worry about those people because they're not coming with you to where you want to go. Like, no means next. I remember sitting in a conference back in my Mary Kay days, which was quite some time ago, like at the advent of the internet, and sitting there, and Gloria Mayfield Banks, who is a hoot, look her up. She put on Beyonce, "You Must Not Know About Me," like to the left. And she said, every time you get a no, you got to play this in your head and say like, oh, you're going to tell me no, to the left. And I swear to God, all these years later, I still think about that. It is the dumbest thing, but you figure out what that dumb thing is going to be for you. I have given you, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. If you want to take that and run with it and make that Ghostbusters theme song your dumb thing that you think about every time someone doesn't have the decency to just say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. Please don't ever text me again. Like, right? You just move on. You're not going to take it personally because you've got big dreams and big goals, and your life and the future you depends on you getting the no's. So we're not going to be afraid of it, and we're going to push through no matter what. And I'm snotting on myself now, and I don't have a tissue. So your homework, you're going to do the visualization activity in detail. You're going to take the time. You're going to write it down. Then you're going to create a virtual dream board for yourself that you can save as the desktop background on your phone. I had every intention of doing mine before this call. It didn't happen because I had a lot of laundry. Like, it's just real life. Okay. So, but I will get it done and I will share it with everybody. I want us all to be able to kind of share them over the next like week or so. Okay. So then you're going to save it as your desktop background, and then it's going to get worse, guys. You're going to share it. So now the internets are back, the Facebooks are up, the Instagrams are rolling, and you are going to share it. You're going to share that big dream. You're going to tag your upline. You're going to get a little raw and a little vulnerable. And there is a great reel audio that I will share with you guys that I'm kind of picturing as something really good. It's like your desktop background is your why. It's something like that. I'll find it and I will share it with you guys. But I think that would be a really cool thing for us to do, is use that reel audio to share our things. Okay, so is everybody good on that? So you're going to do the activity. You're going to make the collage, the story slide. You're going to save it as your desktop background, and then you're going to be brave and you're going to share it. And then once we've got a clear vision on who we are going to be and the life we are going to have, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of how to do it, how to talk to people, how to build up that confidence, how to have these conversations, and how to move people from stranger to team member. Does that sound good? If that sounds good, drop me a fire emoji, because we need a little bit of energy up in here. Bring me the fire. I'm waiting. I'm going to sit here awkwardly until you, okay, there we go. All right. Well, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you for taking time out of your night to join us. I am so impressed. It is 9:03 and our goal was 30 minutes. And we all like to talk, mostly me, but we all like to talk. So I'm impressed with us. I'm impressed with you. Good job showing up. If you've got team members who couldn't make it on, I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel. So I will get the link out to everybody so that anybody who wants to watch the replay, I also have all the questions for the visualization. I can't say it either. Nobody can say the word visualization activity for everybody if you want that too. So have a good night, everybody. Love your faces. Bye.